Well, here we all are. I want to talk to you today about a series of events that just happened for me. And depending on how you look at them, you can look at it as negative or positive or anything in between. But I want to offer to you guys today the different ways that this could have been taken and the way I'm deciding to take it. Because a lot of times, the circumstances in our lives can confuse us into thinking that they're not supposed to happen, that they're not supposed to be there. So many times in my life, I have gotten caught up in the emotion that occurs under certain events and circumstances, to where I have not seen the positive side of it, the light side of it, the unconditional side of it, the meant to be side of it. And at least this time I caught myself. I think it's so easy for us to get caught up in emotions because, man, we are emotional creatures, and it's an amazing thing. It's probably the best part about being a human, is just all the emotions that we have. But it's important to learn as we continue our journeys not to let our emotions get the best of us. And when they get the best of us, that just means that we're allowing circumstances, scenarios, people, what people say, what people don't say, do or don't do, get in the way of our joy, in the way of our peace, in the way of our birthright to feel good. Now, something else really important to note there is to not get upset at ourselves when those emotions do hit us hard and we do slip into the contrast, we do slip into a negative mood. Because if we start to spiral down into what that circumstance triggered out of us and therefore created a certain mood within us, and we just beat ourselves up for feeling those emotions, thinking that we're too good to feel for those emotions. A lot of us on the spiritual path, and I've said this before in other videos, we think at times, and I'm speaking for myself, but I'm sure a lot of you can relate, that I'm too spiritual to be feeling what I'm feeling right now. If I were as spiritual as I said I was, or as I said I want to be, then I shouldn't be having these feelings. I shouldn't be in a bad mood because of a circumstance. I shouldn't feel triggered by a comment or something that happened in my life. And that's when we start to spiral, and that's when we don't give ourselves grace and patience and enough self-love to bear witness to the emotions that we're feeling in that moment, honor ourselves for it, not beat up on ourselves for it, and simply lean into them so that we can let it go. Because if we push against them, they're going to push right back. And then we're doing this, we're butting heads with emotions, and that's when the emotions get the best of us. So that's something that I just experienced. Yesterday, I had a series of quote-unquote unfortunate events, seemingly unfortunate. And I had to catch myself in the emotion as well. And I'm proud of myself because even though I did give myself a day to experience the negative emotions that came with these scenarios that I'm going to talk about, I didn't allow for it to last. And I didn't spiral deeper into it by beating myself up saying that I shouldn't be feeling what I'm feeling, or that I shouldn't be experiencing what I'm experiencing. So real quick, when I was in New York, I lived in Harlem for 1 year, and I lived other places for the other 6 years that I was there. But for the 1 year I lived in Harlem, we had a great 6 months with my friends who I went to school with, to acting school with. We had an amazing 6 months. And then the bed bugs came. That could be a trigger in itself for a lot of you, so I won't get too much into bed bugs. But if you've had to deal with them in your life before, you know what a pain in the ass they really are. And honestly, it was a traumatic experience. For 6 months, I was getting bit up like crazy all over my body, itchy. Never saw one of them, but every single night I would wear long sleeve shirts, long sleeve pants, a hat. I would wear gloves and then rubber band my gloves so as to try and keep them from crawling up. That's how horrible this was. And it started with me, and then it moved to my other roommates. But they just liked my blood for some reason. 3 exterminations we had, 3, and they still stayed. And eventually, we got the hell out of there. And I, years later, just yesterday, found a bed bug in my apartment here in Colorado, not in New York. And man, when I say that triggered some crazy emotions, some crazy trauma, anger, frustration, it did. Because man, if you've dealt with bed bugs once in your life, I mean, how many people even have that issue at all in their life? And now I'm getting it twice. It really shook me. And I still am itching from it right now. So that's something that I'm having to deal with right now. Gonna have to get the apartment exterminated. It's a pain in the ass. You have to do all these things, right? So that's the first thing that happened. The second thing that happened is that my truck started to act up. And so now it's in the shop. So that's the second thing. And then the third thing is, I might have mentioned I did mention in the past videos that I haven't been doing as many public local gigs in the town that I'm living in, singing gigs. And the gig that decided to not have music at their venue anymore, which was my regular gig, I would play there every week, 4 to 5 times a month. It's a great gig, paid great, tipped great. I was able to really perform. It was a great sounding space. There was a bar, comfortable seating. I always brought in the best revenue out of... We don't have to get into that. I always brought in a lot of people, I'll say that. And I just got a text from one of the people who come to my shows all the time. I mean, she is this nice old lady that comes to my gigs 90% of the time. And she texted me saying that she was told by another musician that they're bringing back music on Saturdays, just on Saturdays at the Springs. And that musician was booked, and to let her know if I get booked there. And so to me, that just felt like I wasn't being treated fairly because of the fact that I was the regular, I brought in the most amount of people, so on and so forth. And there are other musicians that bring in a lot of people, but they weren't playing there every single Saturday. So I'm not trying to put down other musicians or anything like that. I'm just stating the straight up facts. My numbers were the best, and I haven't gotten a text or a call, right? So all 3 of those things happened yesterday. And so, like I said, I went into the emotion of it. I felt it. I felt betrayed. I felt anger and fear when it came to the bed bugs. I felt frustration when it came to my truck also needing to be put in the shop. And so this brings me to the point of why I'm telling you all of this. Whenever we're making changes in our lives and we are choosing a new identity and we are choosing a new way of behavior, when we are deciding to jump into a new creative passion, to change ourselves so that we can see the change in the world that we want to see. When we start on that journey, or even just all the way through the journey, I'm sure, because I'm not just starting on this, but coming out with this channel doing this as my main focus now instead of the singing. I've made a very big energetic change recently, and I'm also applying all the things that I've talked about in previous videos, so make sure you guys check those out. I think you'll get a lot of value in those. When we start choosing that new identity, things like this come up. Days like these come up, where everything seems to be hitting the fan, where everything seems to be coming at you all at once, where certain things seem unfair, where maybe people decide to leave your life or start making rumors about you or talking behind your back or whatever the case may be. It's not always a clean slate when you're going into a new energy, into a new identity that is actually your true authentic self, like we've talked about. That's really such a big journey and theme of this whole YouTube channel, is becoming our authentic selves. And so I just want to share this with you guys because more than likely it's going to happen to you as well. And I don't want you to be caught in the throes of the messiness that comes with changing yourself and changing your life. And really, more than changing yourself, it's really more you're unveiling yourself, you're revealing yourself. You're finally deciding to be the person that you've always wanted to be in your life. And the reason that these things start to come up is because they need to be flushed out. These things, the truck, the bed bugs, the seemingly unfairness of not being called in for a gig, those are all guideposts, breadcrumbs, and good signs of transformation, and that's the point. Yeah, I got caught up in it for a day, the emotions of it. Yeah, and that's okay. I'm a human. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. Hey, usually I would let this go on for a week or a month in a past version of myself that I remember. This could go on for a month, a few weeks, more than a couple of days. And this only happened for a day. And now maybe I'll be able to bring it back to, it only takes a half a day. Maybe it only takes an hour. Maybe it only takes a couple of minutes to shake it off and let it be water off the duck's back. And actually take a second, lean into the emotions that you're feeling that don't feel good, that feel triggered when these things happen to you. They don't feel good. Not to back away from them, not to push into them, but to just lean into them energetically and just sit with them and sit with how uncomfortable it was. And I literally did that at 6 a.m. this morning. I was itchy. I couldn't sleep last night because of the you-know-what. And I just, decided to just sit there. I was feeling very, very angry and frustrated and just knotted up. And I leaned into it. And the more that I leaned into it, solutions started coming into my brain. Other options, other ideas, other possibilities that are positive that could come from these three circumstances that happened to me in one big day. Possibilities of positivity started coming to me when I leaned into the emotion that wasn't feeling good. Because I just didn't want to sit with it. I didn't want to feel bad for myself, feel sorry for myself. And I didn't want it to last. It felt horrible. So I offer that to you guys. If you have these things that are coming up in your life, they're a good sign. And it's not rainbows and butterflies all the time when you're changing yourself and you're creating a new identity. So much of the old self has to be flushed out. Toxins have to be flushed out, metaphorically speaking, symbolically speaking, in order for you to realize that you don't need those things anymore. It gives you an opportunity to respond to circumstances differently, which is a huge lesson learned, because if you can start responding to things differently and not getting so triggered, not beating yourself up, not projecting it on other people when things aren't going your way or circumstances that feel like betrayal or unnecessary or frustrating or that bring anger inside of you or that seem like they're a setback, if you don't let those get the best of you, there is golden nuggets within each of those scenarios. And one of the best golden nuggets of all is that I'm able to share this and share these perspectives and what I went through and what I'm going through with you guys so that maybe you can move through it a little more gracefully, a little bit quicker than I have. Because I'm just learning this as it comes to me. But having you guys bear witness to my life and having you come along with me, it's valuable. And I hope this adds value to your life. And I hope that it can steer you in the right direction that feels better to you. So stop beating up on yourself so much. Stop being so quick to judge yourself when you feel the emotions of life from circumstances that come up in your life. You don't have to let them control you. You don't have to let circumstances dictate your mood or the way that you operate within the world. That's the wonderful thing about life. There's so many unexpected twists and turns, ups and downs. But again, remember, it's not just like this. It's like this. Where you have up and down, up and down, up and down. But that up and down is always going up at the end of the day. It's not linear. It's not just up, down, straight across. It's up, down, all the way up. And it's never ending, and you'll never get to the top, and you'll never actually get there. And that's the point of life, and that's the beautiful thing of life. We never get it done. We never figure it all out. There's always something to learn. And so I'm going to continue sharing that with you guys. Circumstances don't matter, only your state of being matters. Circumstances don't matter, only your state of being matters. So when these things come up, like I just mentioned, they're not punishment. They're positioning. They're positioning. They are positioning you in a new direction for your life. That is who you're meant to be. Because you have decided to become your authentic self, to identify with the self that is the most fun version of you to experience every single day. You're being positioned. It's not punishment. So don't fall into that trap. When you feel like you're doing things right in your life, like you're doing the spiritual work, you're doing the self-work, you're doing what you feel like you need to be doing, you're identifying with life and yourself differently. And life reflects to you something that appears negative, that's a good thing. And that is just something that needs to be brought to the surface so that it can be flushed out right down the river. Right down the river. And life will take it. The earth will take it. God will take it from you. Just let it go. When those things come up, they're opportunities to let it go and say, hey, I don't need these things anymore. Thank you for reflecting this to me, God. Thank you for reflecting this to me, universe and source. Thank you. I no longer need this, and I give it to you, knowing that you know what to do with it, knowing that you know how to dissolve it, and I no longer need to carry the weight that does not serve me any longer. I no longer carry the weight of other people's opinions, judgments, baggages, projections, and also my own. I let it all go. I give it to you, God. I give it to you. And I'm going to continue being my best self, my most authentic self that I can be in any given moment, and just see where life takes me from there. And just see where life takes me from there. I do not need to have it all figured out. I am God. I am the universe itself. And I have all the help that I need from you, God, to become the person that I truly am, so that I can experience the life that I am worthy and deserving of. And so it is. Guys, I hope that touches you. I hope that helps you. Again, thank you so much for being here. Just for being here. It means so much to me to have people watching these videos, seeing your comments. It's truly what I came here for, and it's why I'm doing this. I want nothing but the best for you, and the best for me, and the best for this planet. Be patient with yourselves. Love yourselves. Be good to yourselves. I'll see you in the next video.